In the 21st century has come full circle.
Good evening, all.
The old romantic notion of the Bobby on the beat, like Sergeant George Dixon 50 years ago, is very much back in favour.
See ya.
A new caring force has been created that works in collaboration with the community it serves, called the Neighbourhood Policing Team.
You're under arrest, OK, for assault.
Now the teams are in every local area of the country.
Get him! We've got a runner.
Cracking down on antisocial behaviour.
Stay here! Ow! I've had enough!
Busting suspected drug dens.
There's a very, very large grow in this room. Jackpot.
And laying down the law to crooks and criminals.
Who's your toe?
I want him.
In this new series of Neighbourhood Blues, we're following the men and women from the Humberside Police Force.
You're under arrest.
I'm arresting you for being in possession of controlled substance.
As they strive to make our streets a safer place. Coming up, police find a massive cannabis farm.
Jackpot.
A PCSO catches up with a drunken menace.
Right, get on the floor, get on the floor.
And the neighbourhood team hunt for illegal immigrants.
Hello, it's the police. Hello, police. They've come out here.
Cultivating cannabis at home is massively on the increase. Police across the country discover over 100 new cannabis farms each week. And what often gives these green-fingered growers away are two very basic things: the large amount of heat given off by lights used to nurture the plants, and the extremely strong smell of the cannabis itself.
It's Friday morning in Hull, and PC Matt Jarvis is on his way to visit a house where he thinks cannabis is being grown.
You know, we need to obviously at the same time do something proactive about it. So it's a case of just knocking on the door, seeing if there's anybody there. Normally, if there is a large-scale cannabis grower there, you can generally smell it once you're at the address, which then gives us powers potentially under Section 32 of PACE, that sort of thing.
Matt found out about the house because the police helicopter flew over it, and its infrared camera flagged up a huge hotspot.
We get helicopter support, and they can check for heat sources in particular that stand out. And on this instance, that's where part of the information has come from, that there is a potentially cannabis grow at the address. I think it's certainly very good when we do drug warrants like this, and we go and we do things of this nature, and people down the street see us doing it. It shows them here that we are acting positively. It shows that they can trust us to act on any information they want to pass to us, more importantly, and it builds public confidence and satisfaction as well.
While Matt goes to knock on the door, his colleague Mike Robinson heads round the back in case the occupant of the house tries to make a run for it. After getting a signal from a colleague that they've got their man, Mike heads inside and upstairs to a bedroom, where Matt has found what he's looking for.
Looks like there's a very, very large grow in this room. Jackpot.
The whole bedroom has been turned into a massive cannabis farm.
You got the same in there?
Yeah, both rooms.
Well, that'll explain the heat source then, won't it? So yeah, it looks looking like there's probably in excess of 50 plants in here. From what Mike says in there, it's looking the same in there as well, but it's certainly looking like quite a big haul, put it that way.
Matt had knocked on the door to be greeted by the occupant and a strong narcotic aroma.
As soon as the door opened, the smell was quite pronounced. I mean, you could probably smell it now as we're in here. As soon as the door sort of opens, and that's what tends to happen with grows like this. The smell does hit you. It is obviously quite pronounced.
The whole of the upstairs of the house is dedicated to growing cannabis. The occupant was sleeping downstairs in the living room with some interesting bedside companions.
He had them at the side of the bed. He'd be sleeping on the mattress downstairs. I think so, yeah.
Thankfully, the occupant was asleep when the police arrived and wasn't able to use the weapons. He's going to be taken in for questioning. And once the man is in the van and on his way to the police station, Matt and the team can begin dismantling the cannabis farm. They've seized more than 20 plants with a street value of over £10,000.
This was the first bedroom that we walked when we came upstairs. Room 1 as we've referred to it. This is the one that had, and then it was 14 large plants in it. I think all of them were pretty much over 6 foot tall. I think they put a rough estimation of between £400 and £500 per plant. So obviously times that by the 22 that we found, hopefully, you know, it's big business really.
The neighbourhood teams raid cannabis farms on a fairly regular basis, but this is a big one. All from a helicopter spotting a heat source and a bit of detective work from Matt.
Putting 2 and 2 together, obviously thought it was worth us attending today, and I think it proved to be right. I think it's good to see that, you know, we've obviously got teeth really. I mean, the one thing we will look at is probably doing a letter drop in the area just to let a lot of residents know that we have obviously seized all this cannabis today. We can do that. And it is good, you know, it lets people know. You might even get a little bit more information out of it. They'll think people might be sat on information thinking, I'm not going to bother telling the police, but if they know we're going to act upon it, then hopefully it'll keep that flow of information going. It's always nice, it's always pleasing, bit of job satisfaction to find something.
The man was charged with production of cannabis. The man later pleaded not guilty.
Just want to leave your boots there.
For many police community support officers, their job is a stepping stone to further careers in the police force. PCSOs play a valuable role in neighbourhood policing, but as they don't have all the powers of a regular police officer, sometimes they find themselves in difficult situations. Opinion is divided amongst the public about the role of PCSOs.
They haven't really got any power. They're just there as a deterrent, really.
If a police support officer arrests somebody, he's got to send for backup within half an hour. And it's ridiculous.
They should have the same powers as the rest as proper policemen, but be integrated into community.
It's late morning in Hull, and PCSO Dave Garbett is starting his beat.
We're just going to do a routine patrol around the city centre. We have an ongoing issue with a number of vagrants around the city centre, so we're just going to go up to Queen Victoria Square. It's one of their local hangouts during the day. It's nice and sunny. A lot of them are alcoholics, so they'll sit there drinking. The city centre is a designated no drinking zone, so that they're not allowed to have any open vessels of alcohol. The main thing is the council are spending a lot of money trying to encourage people to come into Hull city centre and try and develop it. And when these new people do arrive, they're confronted with people pestering them for money, and it's not a very good advertisement for Hull city centre.
CCTV operators have alerted Dave to 3 drunk men causing trouble.
They're walking up and down Postern Gate, open vessels of alcohol, so we'll go up there, we'll see what the score is. I'll have to probably get another patrol just to back me up.
The men are being followed by the cameras, and Dave soon catches up with 2 of them.
All right, lads.
Yeah, I'm
Now, lad, just have a quick word with you.
What's up?
See
Okay. Excuse me. Wait,
What's up?
I'm talking to him, aren't I?
Now, Ron.
Apparently, you've been causing a bit of disorder.
Where?
Down here. I'm only stood in front of you, mate. You don't need to shout, do you?
Oh, what?
You, where's your mate gone? Those 3 of you.
Jordan Mark.
Jordan Mark, has he gone off, has he? You've obviously had a bit to drink, haven't you? Yeah, and CCTV will picture. Yeah, and CCTV will picture up being a bit mouthy to passing members of the public.
I was shouting to Jordan Mark, me mate.
All right.
I was shouting, yeah, mate, because you ripped me mate off.
As a police community support officer, Dave doesn't have the power to ban the men from the city centre or lock them up. So he calls in a colleague to help.
They've been drinking,
Yeah,
verbally
which we do
abusing
drink
people
and all
walking
that.
by. One of them's been caught urinating, CCTV.
Not
picks
me,
them up.
I ain't done anything like that.
So where are you?
Where are you going now?
Have I been you a bit
you
in?
listening?
I doubt it, mate. Not me.
And did I say you?
Excuse me.
Well,
I said,
one
well, yeah,
Right.
I didn't mean
I
you,
was
though, did
with
it?
3 guys.
Where
There
are you
were 3
going
of them,
now?
right? I'm going home.
Right,
I had
listen.
a lot to drink, mate, but I
Right.
am not drunk and I know
Right.
what I'm doing.
Well, I beg to differ that you're drunk, okay? Right,
Yeah.
what I suggest you do...
No, I am not drunk. I'm merry, not drunk.
I suggest you go
I'm
home.
half drunk, what you
Okay.
call half
I'll warn you now that the CCTV cameras are watching you, so
Yeah.
if you do start misbehaving, then you are likely to get arrested for
But he
drunken
just
disorderly.
came and said I was trying to
Right.
yell bit in down
No,
the
never.
street.
I said,
Not
one, I
me.
said one of the
Didn't
group.
say you,
It
sir.
wasn't me.
Right.
I didn't say
Time to
one
go.
particular, did I?
Time to go.
Okay then.
Okay, off you go then.
The man could have been given a dispersal order, banning him from the area, but this time has just been given a warning.
Are you just going to pay passing attention?
Will do.
Yeah. Okay.
But as soon as Dave continues on his beat, he realises that the man can't have been paying attention as he's sitting just round the corner.
Right, you've been asked to leave the city centre, haven't you? Not sit down and chew the fat with your friend.
Mate,
No, you're leaving the city centre, aren't you?
because he was with me when...
Yeah, you're both leaving the city centre. What did the sergeant say to you? If you don't leave it, you're going to get locked up.
I was more
Yeah, well,
than you, mate.
I dare say you probably
You know
are.
what I
Up
was,
you get.
I'll
Right,
tell you what I
put
was.
your arms straight. Don't
Right.
come walking up to me, all right?
Now, things have changed. The man's got a bad attitude and hasn't done what he's told. He needs to be officially banned from the city centre or locked up. But as a PCSO, Dave doesn't have the power to do either of these.
Papa Victor 29 to X-Search.
No. Go away. Go away.
All Dave can do is keep an eye on him as he makes a swift getaway.
Papa Victor 2 now they've all split up again. Now one of them's running down Queen Victoria Square. He's carrying a blue bag. Nah, well, you can never reason with a drunk.
Following the man's Usain Bolt impression, Dave has lost him, but the cameras still have him in their sights.
Yeah, Civic, was that for Malmail with a blue bag?
I'm still going at East Percy Street towards Freetown Way.
Apparently he's just down here.
The drunk man is still a distance away, but luckily Dave gets offered a lift from a helpful cabbie
Nice one. Cheers for that, mate. Thank you.
and soon spots his target.
Right, get on the floor. Get on the floor. Right, you can come in for drunk and disorderly, pal. I have been spoken to. Like, get your arms behind. Get on your front.
I do.
Get on your front.
As a PCSO, Dave has the power to detain the man for 30 minutes, and his colleagues soon arrive to make the official arrest.
I ain't gonna argue.
The drunk man is still unhappy about his situation, not least that one of his cans of beer has exploded.
Right, under arrest.
Come on. And you're a copy. And I'm 57.
Male's in custody.
Handcuffed me, but...
He's going to be spending at least the rest of the day in the cells, which could have all been avoided if he'd listened to what he'd been told earlier.
Well, obviously the words of advice from the sergeant didn't work. As you can see, as we walked down the corner, he was sat down with his friend. He's then continued to shout and swear, and start waving his arms about, getting aggressive, and then he's walked off, and we've continued to follow him. That kind taxi driver stopped and asked if he wanted a lift.
He's basically, I've been flagged down by...
At that point, he was going to come in for D&D anyway, so that's when I took hold of him, and he started to resist. That's why I took him to the floor.
They challenged him about urinating.
The man was later charged with drunk and disorderly behaviour. He went to court and was given a 12-month conditional discharge.
Illegal immigration is undoubtedly a hot topic at the moment, with authorities unsure exactly how many illegal immigrants are living in the UK. And while it's the job of the border agency, not the police, to track them down, neighbourhood teams are often called in to assist them on large-scale operations.
A large percentage of illegal immigrants in the UK are believed to be working here unlawfully and costing the economy billions of pounds a year. It's a situation the public isn't happy about.
Illegal immigrants get paid unfair wages for the work they do. People who live in who are nationals of the country get bumped off their jobs.
It's something that can create difficulties within society. I think, you can get a lot of tension between communities with people working illegally.
Someone above them is exploiting them because they're illegal, so they will get them to work in very long hours, to do the things that other people won't do, and they won't say anything about it.
The neighbourhood team in Cleethorpes are about to take part in a raid with members of the UK Border Agency.
A lot of what we do on the neighbourhood policing team is support each other on multi-agency visits, and that's what's happening today. We're going out to support Border Agency UK, looking for anyone who may be here illegally.
The team are going to be visiting a nail bar in the town centre, where they believe illegal immigrants may be working. They're with an officer from the local council who can remove licences from businesses working illegally.
We have received some intelligence that perhaps some of these people are here illegally or they're overstayers. So that's what we're going to do first. It's the first time we've ever targeted these. We tend to target premises where we get the intelligence to suggest that they might be illegal immigrants or overstayers. I'm hoping today that that the intelligence is wrong, really, that everybody's in there, they're all here legally and everything else, so we'll see.
As the UK border team prepare to go in, Dave heads to the rear of the nail bar to make sure no one tries to escape into the alleyway.
Darren, if you let me know when you're in okay, I've got the back covered, but I can't get through because of the big gate here.
But there's no activity there. Once he gets the all clear, Dave heads inside to help. But the council licensing officer is sure someone's gone out the back way.
Yeah, is that the gate? Yeah, that's the gate I was looking through, so no one came through.
Hello, police. Yeah, the door opened and they've come out here.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see anyone. Hello, it's the police.
Hello, police.
They carry out a search of the neighbouring buildings, many of which are empty rooms above shops with ample space to hide.
Looking obvious.
But despite an extensive search, there's no one to be found.
And we've been and checked out those premises, so must have been a window or something. There was a concern, they heard what sounded like a door go, but I was covering the back, as you know, from the alleyway, looking through the gate, couldn't see anyone in the alleyway, and then they came round to the front when they said they were safely inside. But the alleyway's completely secure, you can't get out both ends, and we've checked the premises either side, there's nobody there. So I think it's probably just the wind.
However, back inside the nail bar, officers have found two Vietnamese people they think may be working illegally.
So when 2009, what visa did you get to come to the United Kingdom?
If they are found guilty of breaking the terms of their visa, they could be deported from the UK and prevented from returning.
You work here part-time? So part-time, how many hours is that?
Off Friday and Saturday.
So you work every day apart from Friday and Saturday. Did you get a student visa? Where was it to study?
Now they have the workers' details, the border agents contact their HQ to check out their visas. And it's bad news for both of them.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, we've obviously just been on the phone to our office. They told us your visa expired on the first 2012. Okay, so you've overstayed your visa, haven't you? Okay, so because of that, I'm arresting you for overstaying your time in the UK.
Basically, can't find anything with regards to your legitimate stay being in here, and even if you are, you're an overstay from what you've told me, so I am arresting you under suspicion of being here illegally in the United Kingdom.
The gentleman's been here since 2009 and they've recently got married. So they obviously a married couple working, but unfortunately they're working illegally. They've outstayed the visas, so...
Business is over for the day, while the two suspected illegal immigrants are taken in for questioning. And back at the station, some more information comes to light.
They both entered the country around about 2008, 2009. The female person is a student on a student visa, work visa, but that's expired, so that's why she's been arrested. The male, he's possibly an illegal entry to the UK, so that's going to be investigated, but that's why he's been arrested as well.
The couple were later found to have outstayed their visas, They subsequently claimed asylum and are still in the UK while their case is investigated. No charges were brought against the owner of the nail bar. At the heart of community policing in Hull are the neighbourhood teams. The PCs, PCSOs and special constables know their beats like the back of their hands, and this knowledge is often invaluable when it comes to fighting crime. PCSO David Nimmo has been having a nose around some garages on his beat in Orchard Park in North Hull and has made an interesting find. He's called in his colleague, PC Andy Derbyshire.
What happened, I was just coming down here, and one of the residents just said to me, there might be a car in here, because none of these garages have got out in them. They're not supposed to have anything in them. So she said, there might be something in here. So I came down and started checking them.
And his checking has found a suspected stolen car.
They'll probably just use it either for joyriding, mooching about with, and then they'll just keep driving it until it runs out of petrol, or they get bored with it and then they'll just bin it off somewhere or fire it up. He's clipped it here, look.
Yeah.
This isn't just luck though. Along with the tower block next to them, the garages are due to be demolished in a few months' time. And David knows they're often used to hide stolen vehicles.
These are all supposed to be empty, so the council don't come and look in them or anything like that, and there's no need for them to do it. But because we know this sort of stuff goes on, we come and look sometimes, and you never know what you might find.
The car and its number plate have jogged David's memory.
We get a list of stolen vehicles in the area, but I remember that there was 2 stolen from a burglary. They've got one back, but I remember there was a white Astra that was still outstanding, and this is a registration of it. I don't know, I can remember registrations. If I see a registration for something that's stolen, I'll remember it.
Finding a stolen car is a great result, but there's one small problem.
Well, the car's locked as well, so I'm not quite sure how we're going to get it out. But because the wheels are turned slightly, as soon as we start to pull it out, it's going to go into the wall.
A recovery vehicle soon arrives.
And we'll see how he's going to get it out.
They're used to getting cars out of all sorts of places, but this could be a tough one.
Give it a tug and see which way it wants to go.
It'll be an achievement in itself to get it out without damaging it.
While the recovery man gets to work, Andy finds out more about the car.
It was stolen by means of a burglary at an address. During the burglary, obviously the keys to the vehicle have been found by the offender. The offenders then obviously removed the vehicle from wherever it was parked. It's what we call a Hanoi burglary.
Hanoi burglaries, where car keys are taken from a house in order to steal a car, are named after Operation Hanoi, the first police initiative targeting these thefts. But now, Andy and David can't worry about who may have stolen the car.
He likes to supervise, I think.
First, they've got to get it out of the garage. Half an hour and plenty of pushing and shoving later, the car's finally out.
Yes. Seen this hand? It's taunted right there, look at that.
The Astra is covered in bumps and scratches, not caused by the recovery, but by the people who stole it.
What it looks like is when he's turned it in, he's hit the side near the wheel, but because it's bent the bumper round, he's also cracked the front here.
Yeah, all right, there's a bit of cosmetic damage here, which, you know, a body shop will probably get sorted out within time. But you don't know what's happened between the car being taken and us finding it today. You know, the engine could be ragged well out of it, and you've got no engine in a couple of months or something. I just don't know. I personally wouldn't fancy having it back, because I just don't know what problems have been caused.
Today, a car's been recovered.
Good job, that one.
Thank you, yeah, thanks for your help.
That one. Cheers.
But it could so easily not have been stolen in the first place.
We can just give the advice that we do give. Don't leave your keys on shore. Don't leave them on the bottom of the stairs or hung up near doors and things like that. You'll be amazed how ingenious some of the customers that we have are at obtaining keys. I would recommend you either lock them away in a safe and secure cupboard, well out of sight of anybody, or better still, take them to bed. Leave them on your bedside cabinet. You know they're going to be there in the morning, and if they're going to be there in the morning, your car's going to be there as well. Hanoi burglaries are bad anyway, but to have your house burgled and your car taken at the same time is like a bit of a double whammy. I certainly wouldn't fancy it, and I wouldn't recommend it for anybody really.
The car was later reunited with its owner. Investigations into who stole it are still ongoing.
Mephedrone, otherwise known as MCAT or Meow Meow, first came to prominence as a legal high, used primarily as a party drug. A few years ago it was banned and classified as a Class B drug. Since becoming illegal, MCAT's popularity has risen despite its harmful effects. In fact, last year alone, it was linked to over 50 deaths.
It's early morning, and the community response team in Hull are about to raid a suspected drug dealer.
There's recent intelligence saying that the occupant is dealing MCAT from the address. We've got a warrant. The intention is to put the door in and see what's inside.
They're raiding a flat in a block rather than a house, which presents its own problems.
The only issue we might have is that we're going to be going in full uniform from outside the flat. So we've got to get from our van to this door as quickly as possible, and ideally without being seen as well. It'll be nice if we get a result today and decent members of the public see that we are taking action against these people.
Once the team are kitted out in safety gear, they head off on the short drive to the suspected dealer's flat. The entry into the building goes well, and the quickest way to the flat is via the lift.
We're in the lift just going up to the 3rd floor. We'll be off very shortly. We're going to approach the door and use the go bar and the rammer to get in. Right.
Once they get to the 3rd floor, it's go, go, go.
Police, stay where you are! Don't move!
The man they're after was asleep in bed, and there's no one else in the flat. So far, it's all going to plan.
The entry was good. The door was as we thought. It's a solid wooden door which presents very little problem to us. Fortunately, the occupant is here. He's been asleep unvented, so we've caught him by surprise a little bit. Now he's detained safely. We're going to slow everything down, search him and search the address methodically and see what we find. The strip searching the occupant, who's the lad that we expected to be here. There is intelligence saying that he secretes items between his buttocks and wherever else as well, so we'll make sure he's not got anything on him first that he might be able to dispose of.
The strip search has proven unsuccessful, but one of the team soon makes a discovery.
We found a small plastic bag containing white powder. It's quite crystalline at the moment, so not quite sure what it is. So we're seizing it as a suspect control substance and getting it tested.
AJ's found a white crystal substance in a bag, which may well be MCAT. It will ultimately have to be sent to a laboratory to identify it. By looking at it and seeing the circumstances in which we found it, we can suspect that it's MCAT, and that's enough to give us a power of arrest.
The raid was carried out because of information that the suspect was alleged to be dealing MCAT, otherwise known as mephedrone, a drug that Dave and his colleagues are finding more and more often.
MCAT itself is a relatively new drug. It's a Class B drug, and it's it's a stimulant, so when people take it, it has a similar effect to things like amphetamines. It makes people very hyperactive. It also has the downside of making some people quite aggressive and paranoid as well. I've spoken to heroin users who say they've tried MCAT and would never ever try it again. The side effects of MCAT are quite horrendous. It was linked a couple of years ago with a couple of deaths of teenagers as well.
Raids like today's don't only get drugs off the streets, they also have benefits for the wider community.
Drug users generally have to steal in order to fund a drug habit, whether that be from shops or committing burglaries and robberies and things like that. Either way, it's not a nice thing for a community to deal with. We will generally notice an upsurge in acquisitive crime in an area where drugs are being dealt from, whether it's opportunist thefts of things like a pedal cycle that's being left out in the street to the more serious offences like the burglaries and the robberies or the shop thefts. In locations where drugs are being dealt from, there's the issue of the antisocial behaviour aspects for neighbours as well.
In addition to the suspected MCAT, officers have found some pills and some paperwork suggesting drug dealing.
Next to them, I recognise a couple of names on the list there, but I don't know what the letters and numbers after them mean.
The occupant of the flat is taken in for questioning, but at least he won't have to worry about his broken front door, as a team from the council have arrived to fix it.
We had the council on board quite early on with this, so they've fortunately been able to make a phone call quite early and get the door repaired. It didn't need a new door. I've left a bit of an imprint in it. The frame just needed making good, which has been done. So we'll secure the address now and go and do the paperwork.
The occupant of the flat was later charged with possession of a Class B drug and a number of other offences, and is currently on remand, awaiting trial.
The fear of being burgled is the #1 concern that local residents in Hull expressed to the neighbourhood teams. In response, the police recently launched an intensive crackdown, and last year, burglary numbers were cut by 12%.
But as a result of their focus on house crime, it appears thieves are instead turning their attention to sheds, garages and other unoccupied outbuildings, stealing tools, fishing equipment and bikes, items that are easy to sell on.
It's annoying because it's pointless, like it's our stuff, so what gives them the right to come and take it or damage it? Oh, it's ours.
Neighbourhood teams are now urging people to use preventative measures to beat the burglars. PCSO Dawn Brown and PC Andy Derbyshire are visiting a street where there's been a recent spate of shed burglaries.
We'll leaflet the area and we'll do some house to house to make sure that people are aware this is happening.
Well, we can't be everywhere all the time.
No.
People have got to take responsibility for their own security some way or another. We can only do what we can do by issuing shed alarms, advice, all sorts of stuff that we've got, but at the end of the day, if either they don't use it for whatever reason, then there's not a lot more we can do, really.
Dawn's first visit is to a couple whose shed has been burgled, as has that of their neighbour.
So, down this close?
Yeah.
4 people have been burgled.
That's right.
Yourself, you, and 2 others.
37 and 29.
Yeah.
Then these 2.
You saw the lads, Lillian, didn't you?
I saw them, yeah.
Are they always round here?
Well, all on bikes, yeah. They're always on bikes, riding round and round.
Well, I've been down here 7 years at the first break and now I've had it.
In 7 years?
It's getting worse.
Well, in the last week, Welwyn Park Avenue has had 8. Hall Road had 10, almost next door to each other. It's shocking. It's everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
Lillian's shed was broken into and thieves took tools and a bike. And Dawn has some tips on how to improve her security.
If I was a burglar, even to come through here.
Yeah, I know. I know they can.
It's dead easy.
Yeah.
And it ain't got a great lock either.
That'll £7, that.
Has anybody had a go at this? It looks like it would have been really easy to get in. The garden's quite large, so it's right at the very back. And then there's the drain bank just here, so people can quite easily come in, get what they want, and go away without even being disturbed.
In this case, like so many shed burglaries, it's not what's been taken that matters as much as the effect it's had on the victim.
It makes me feel vulnerable with me being a pensioner. It makes me feel nervous. On the night, I check all my windows and doors over and over again.
Next door's shed had a bit more security, but that didn't stop the thieves.
It's damaging. It's not just damaging to me, it's damaging to everybody around here because it's happening everywhere down here. And they're all pensioners or disabled, which is not very nice.
Having fitted an alarm provided by the police, he hopes thieves will be deterred in the future.
Four buildings, 4 sheds in a matter of 2 weeks. It's not very good.
Dawn's now visiting another resident on the street.
We're going to number close. Their shed was attacked as well. They've taken a £120 Bosch jigsaw and 2 cordless drills for £200. So we'll go and see what they know, talk to them.
This woman's had her shed broken into, but she's worried next time it'll be her house.
But house burglaries are not very common at all. But we are being massively targeted with shed and garages at the moment.
I know, well, it's not very often I get a paper, but that's all I've read in the paper, is sheds.
And she's in no doubt who's done it.
Oh, druggies. Druggies, that's all I can think of. Can't think of anything else. It's just they want money for drugs, don't they? They'll have people waiting to sell on.
Although this time Dawn's advice has come too late to prevent the burglaries, it has hopefully meant these residents won't be affected again.
People just aren't as vigilant as they're supposed to be. And when they've been burgled, you become over-vigilant, and this isn't a bad thing. Making sure that your property is safe and secure at all times.
Humberside Police's initiative, which also includes placing tracking devices on stealable items, has already begun to bear fruit, as the number of shed burglaries in the area is beginning to decline. Come rain or come shine, the neighbourhood teams are out on the street doing what they can to help keep the public safe, as well as providing assistance to their colleagues wherever help is needed.
We're going to get there quick enough.
PC Nick Deacon and PCSO Craig Towley have been asked to assist the traffic team.
We've had an oil spillage on a stretch of road. Fortunately, we have our traffic department off at the scene of a 3-vehicle road traffic collision, which has been caused as a result of the oil. But they're having problems with vehicles approaching them and skidding on the oil, so we have to close the road down for the safety of the members of the public and the police officers in that area. But we're just nicely coming up to 4:45 at peak rush hour time, and it's one of the main roads that they use to come out of the industrial estate, so it's going to cause mayhem.
Until the road is safe to drive on, Nick and Craig will be blocking one end of the road by a busy roundabout.
And the easiest thing to do is put my car there because they're not going to get through it. And they put me through there. To be fair, people don't realise the road's closed and they try and get round you. And although I'm rather large, I'm not big enough to stop vehicles getting round the corner.
The spillage has turned the road into a virtual ice rink.
And a lot of people use this road as a cut through to get through to the city centre, so it does get quite busy this time of day. If you look on the ground, you can actually see the amount of oil on the ground. It's a bit slippy on the roundabout, definitely.
Craig's come to assist at the crash scene. There's been a 3-car shunt. A driver skidded on the surface, was hit from behind by another car and bumped into the car in front, containing a driving instructor and her pupil.
Well, I was having a mock test and it was going badly, so it's kind of a relief, really. Going around the corner, got it. Didn't know what to feel, really. Just unknown.
Back at the end of the road, Nick is waiting for the council gritters, and he's not feeling optimistic.
How long's a piece of string? It's how long it takes the council to get down here. If they're on the ball, half an hour to an hour. If they're not on the ball, then we could be looking at a couple of hours. They'll put sand down on it, which will give an abrasiveness to the road surface and also soak up some of the oil that's been spilled. Probably more oil, it's probably diesel from a lorry that's been spilled, but it has the same effect.
Back at the crash scene, the drivers swap insurance details and head home carefully. It's good news that no one has been hurt.
As vehicles come to brake at the junction, they're just losing control going around there, braking and steering on very slippery conditions. There's some suggestion of a tanker coming around just before all the carnage happened, but obviously we don't know. Obviously it's come from a vehicle of some description, and some local employees mentioned a tanker driver coming round.
Now the road's clear of cars, Craig and his colleague can test the road for themselves and help out a cyclist who's got through the cordon.
Problems won't give you a ticket. It's incredibly slippery in this roundabout at the moment. It is like an ice rink due to the fact that it's not only the diesel down there, but it's been spread about by the rain as well, so it is like an ice rink. What happens now from our point of view is we'll go back to the road closure, keep the road closed until the council turn up and clean the road down.
The gritters arrive shortly after and get to work, as does Craig.
Some people don't see the blue lights, so you actually need to point and tell them where to go.
Half an hour later, the council gritters are happy that the road can be opened up again. It can't come a moment too soon for Nick.
Checked it out and I've decided it's cold, it's wet and it's miserable. And I don't like standing out in the cold like this. It'll be a few minutes. We're just checking the road. A traffic car's just turned up, whether you saw. A traffic car's been up and tested the slipperiness of the surface. Gritter's been over it 3 times in either direction. We do look as if, give it a few minutes for it to settle in, that we are going to be opening the road up.
And once the traffic team have given the all clear, Nick and Craig can get finished up.
Yeah, it's a good job, well done. It stopped. We've had one accident down here. There was other vehicles skating all over the place. Peak rush hour time, we'd have had hundreds of cars coming down here, and they'd have just been going into each other, slip sliding away. When it's icy, you know it's icy because it's fairly cold outside. But when you've got oil on the road, you just haven't got a clue. So it is a job well done. And so the traffic lads have picked up all the details for the accident at the bottom end. So no paperwork for us to do, which is even better.
Today we've seen how the neighbourhood policing teams tackle every kind of crime and social problem. It's all part of their ceaseless quest to make the streets a safer place. Join us again next time.